The path to a healthier, happier life starts with nutrition. And in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get overwhelmed by conflicting information out there. And contrary to what you might see online, consistency is not about doing it all perfectly all the time. It's about doing something positive every single day for your health, however small or imperfect it might be.
Over the past century, food and lifestyles have transformed. 100 years ago, people grew their own food, but today we've adopted new habits, foods, and problems.
Over the past 100 years, there have been huge changes in the way we eat food. There's more sugar added to our food. There's toxic fats added to our food. It's been modified and herbicides and pesticides have gone into the soil. So there's been huge changes that have really deteriorated the health of people living in this modern world.
When Dr. Chad Walding started to see a recurring theme of pain and chronic disease running rampant across his patients, he knew there was something more going on.
NATPAT is born out of recognizing these changes and really identifying the gaps, the nutritional gaps in what we're eating, and doing what we can to supplement and give people the resources they need in order to live a healthy, vital life.
It is their mission to help make it easier for you to get back to the path by making real, whole food nutrients more accessible through their supplements and health education.
Before I started taking the collagen, I didn't have the mobility like I would like to have, and since I've started taking it, I do. I use it in my coffee, and it's absolutely tasteless. I don't think you can have enough collagen, do you?
NATPAT believes ingredients should come from nature, not a laboratory. You have enough worries each day, and what you're putting into your body shouldn't be one of them.
Vibrant health begins by reconnecting with what the body was designed for, blending ancient wisdom with modern science. Co-founder Chris Clark is here to share how this powerful approach is helping people feel their best again. Thank you, Chris, for being here. So tell me about this blend of traditional and modern.
Thank you, Dr. Drew. The approach that we're talking about is taking into consideration that 100 years ago and even thousands of years ago, humans lived, ate, and moved in a certain way, and kind of in the modern society, those things have changed in ways that have fundamentally taken us off the path of good health.
Actually, get on the path, stay on the path is sort of your philosophy.
The idea behind that is that there is a path that humans were kind of born into naturally, ancestrally. If we follow that path of eating, moving, and living in a particular way that our DNA and our bodies are designed for, that we will naturally have great health.
I think people think, oh, but they must be talking about paleo. We're not talking about that. We're talking about food sourcing, right?
Yeah, I mean, paleo, I think, was on to a lot of important ideas, right, in terms of foods that the human body was made to ingest, and things that maybe it wasn't, right? And you can kind of see that, with the industrialization of food, we're consuming a lot of things that, even 100 years ago, our great-grandparents wouldn't have consumed. You know,
it's interesting, the current Secretary of Health and Human Services calls them food-like substances.
Yes.
Because they're no longer even true foods.
That's right.
Right? So what are you guys doing to offer foods?
Well, we're doing a few things. I mean, the company itself produces nutritional supplements, right? But besides actually creating products that are made from whole foods, we're also educating our customers to empower them to make better decisions about what they eat, what they don't eat. Things that are really important like hydration, sleep, getting enough sunshine. We're producing products that fill the gap in the modern diet. An example would be collagen, right? And 100 years ago, we wouldn't need to take a collagen supplement.
Right.
People were eating nose to tail, they were consuming bone broth. People don't do that these days, right? With the advent of processed food and industrialization, we're not consuming collagen anymore, and the effects of that are pretty dire on the human body.
And do you have different plans for different age groups?
Our average customer is a 65-year-old woman, right? And so for us, we're really focused on individuals that are over 50 years old.
Okay, so that's really interesting because I treat that population a lot, and getting them to take adequate protein is a challenge. People don't know this. Other people don't understand how much protein is required as you age, so this is a great opportunity to take a supplement to help with that.
As you're well aware, as we get older, the protein synthesis process gets blunted, right? We actually need more protein as we age, not less.
A lot more. And then the other thing is muscle loss, right? That's a big deal. And I'm a huge, we call it sarcopenia,
Yes.
and you've got to have adequate intake of collagen and protein in order to maintain muscle mass.
Yes, it's a huge problem for our customers, right?
I bet.
So the sarcopenia or osteopenia, these are real issues for our customers, and oftentimes what is the result, what's causing that, right, is not consuming enough proteins, not consuming enough collagen, and not having any sort of resistance training to actually continue to stimulate muscle and bone.
Chris, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Listen, to find out more, I want you to go to nativepath, one word, .com/health. Again, that is nativepath.com/health. All the things we've been talking about here, you can find there. Don't go anywhere.